Hello fellow Bang Dreamers, welcome back to the channel. This is Maverick here with another episode of Bang Dream. So this is a continuation viewing right from episode 2 because they decided to release 2 episodes in a row for this week. Apparently it's going to be the same for next week as well with episodes 4 and 5. I don't know what they're rushing for, but hey, I'm a fan, so if I can watch it early, that works out for me. So anyways, in the last episode, we got our first real incident, or event, I guess you call, of the season, where Roka is sort of auditioning for Roselia. It didn't really go well. Apparently, Chuchu and others feel like she's a little bit too reserved in her music. At least that's how I interpret the situation anyways. And I presume we're gonna get a little bit more in regards to this in this episode, and going forward, and see how Roka actually solves this situation, right? As for the rest, since this is a continuation viewing, I'm not gonna go on for too long. Let's cut directly to the chase. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Are we gonna be starting at this onsen every single episode? Probably not. Oh, is that the solo part to Riot? I could not tell at all, honestly. Hey, opening. Normally I skip openings, at least for the videos, even if I do like the song. For this series though, I think I'm gonna put it in. Hey, it's my series, I can do what I want with it. And if you can't tell already, I'm a huge Poppin' Party fan. Man, I can't wait to watch this live. But anyways, as I was mentioning in last episode, if you guys do want me to expand on it a little bit more, do let me know. How Initial relates with the roots of the franchise, if you will. Right. The fact that it's titled Initial isn't just something cute or anything. They actually, especially since the original author was the one writing the lyrics to this song, Nakamura Sensei. Hoshi no Koto, Star Beat. I shite iru. Oh, hey, Firebird. Oh, do I... Moyakare! Alright, immediately back to muting. This song is a favorite for a lot of Roselia fans as well. Man, I remember when this song came out in the game. Like, literally, on the Japanese server, everybody was spamming this. Like, I think, like, for 2 weeks straight, I literally have to play this song, like, at least 10 times every day. Mm-hmm. Really? They need to have a lot of time as well. But of course, the argument could be made that if you are serious about your music, you would want to, you would be putting time away specifically for this. Of course, did you even need to ask? You two siscons.
Roselia、明日の予選も出るみたいだよ。すぐ追い抜いてあるし。勝ち抜きじゃないって結構きついよな。ライブいっぱい出なきゃですもんね。うん、想像以上にシビアな大会だね。
Yeah, I agree. It's actually a lot more intense than I thought.
ライブハウス破りだ。私たちはギャラクシーからエントリーだね。新曲作らなきゃ。初めての予選ライブだしな。ちょっと待ってろ。
Speaking of new songs, I do wonder if we're actually going to be getting any new songs for this season. I mean, so far we've only been seeing repeating songs, like Riot and then Firebird, which were already being performed in the last season already. I am looking forward to some new songs. Oh hey, hello. Oh. You're missing a guitarist.
ギター本当に入れずに行くの？この前の子はロッカちゃんだっけ？チュチュもいいと思って声かけたんでしょ？そう思ったけど期待外れだった。花ちゃん。はい、花園。今日はこれで。よろしくお伝えください。
Tai is probably going to be asking her about this, I would guess.
花ちゃんからの呼び出し、いつも突然だね。忙しかった？うん。おいしい。バンドリ出るんだね。もうすぐ予選。どこで？ギャラクシー。そっか。どっかの予選で一緒になるかもね。うん。あ、そうだ。この前ギャラクシーのバイトの子がうちに来たよ。ロックが？ロッカちゃん、今のうちにお風呂入っちゃって。
Ah, here's the sentimental music.
他人の顔色を伺うような音はいらない。頭洗おう。お湯、こっち？赤いのと青いの一緒に押した方が。大先輩？こんばんは。
Well, she is always straight to the point.
最近のロック、お腹空いてる時のおっちゃんみたい。おっちゃん？うちのウサギ、おったいのおっちゃん。ケージに戻ってどこか見たまま動かなくなるんだ。ラスでギター弾いたの？え、 レイヤから聞いた。はい、不合格になっちゃいました。でもいいんです。私にはポピパさんをこねてお団子にするなんて絶対できないですから。
Just really fixated on the dango thing.
ポピパさんを潰すって。ああ、ラスさんは中学の時に組んでたバンドとは全然違って、前のバンドはみんなでワイワイ合わせるのが楽しかったんです。でもラスさんはそうじゃなくて、チュチュさんに顔色を伺うような音はいらないって言われました。私も必死だったな。またラスト演奏で。
Ah, she's burning up. Can't stand the heat.
新曲なんだけどさ、空を道とし、道を空と見るって感じどうかな。勝負事だけどさ、そういうのにとらわれすぎず、うちららしくやっていきたい。
Reach for the skies, reach for the stars. That would actually be initial. The opening song.
じゃあちょっと書いとくな。空を、この新曲もだけど、瀬戸りも同時に考えなきゃね。バンドリの予選もう始まってるし、ロゼリアもラスももうバリバリライブやってるよ。
Yeah, that's weird.
ロック、どうだった？この前、なんか元気なかったよね。ラスを不合格になったみたい。はぁ？なんだそりゃ。あんなに派手にスカウトしといて。ロックちゃん、大丈夫かな。ロック、ラスト演奏したいんだと思う。でもポピパをこねる人だって。こねる？そっか。ん？多分いろんなことを気にしすぎて動けなくなってるんだね。そういう時って自分じゃもうどうにもできないんだ。私の時はかすみが引っ張り上げてくれたけど。そうよ。ロックに元気になってほしい。うん、そうだね。
So, play for her, I guess.
あのさ、新曲なんだけど。
Dedicated to her.
それ、すごく楽しそう。
Ah, okay.
やろう、みんなで。
Huh, what song is it actually going to be, though? Oh, wow. They make a cameo here as well? Wasn't expecting that.
ごめん、ちくま川。ロックのためだ。
Step, step? What?
明日の予選よろしくね。はい。
Step?
どっか行く？早く寝ようね。寝れるかな。つい
I mean, there's actually one song that I'm not really quite sure about the lyrics for, but I don't think that's the song. Are we getting a new song already? I mean, I'm down for it. Halloween Fair.
ポピパさんじゃなくて、ポッピンパーティーさん出ます。もう始まります。私も見ないと。いよいよだね。私たちの初めての。
Wow. Going old school with their outfits.
行くよ。
Popipa, 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 Popipa.
お疲れ。アスカちゃん。今日ポピパしか出ないの？お姉ちゃんバンド同士で戦うって言ってたけど。参加してるバンドさんたち、もっと大きなライブハウスに集中しちゃって、今日うちはポピパさんだけなの。そうなんだ。
Mm.
それじゃお姉ちゃんたち誰と戦うんだろう。
I was literally about to say that. I was gonna say themselves. Woo! Oh. Man. This is like, you know, she is a fan of Poppin' Party, right? And getting a song dedicated to you. Whoa. Huh. Wow, it is a new song. Holy crap. This is lit. Okay, I'm gonna shut up right now. I wanna listen to this. Okay. Kind of dramatic, but I mean, it is anime, right? And wow, they are actually going through the entire song. Step by step. Wow. So that word right there, I think she was using, you know, a local dialogue. Hmm. Right. Oh, okay. If it's just guitar, then well, just for just in case. I'm not gonna mute the music as well.
あいつベースもキーボードも全部一人でやる気か。歌まで歌い出しそう。たく。
Yeah, here we have the guitar. I don't quite think this is the recording version though. Ooh. Yeah, that was the ending part of it. Okay, nice. Yay! So, her trials continue on. I think I actually forgot to mute that part at the very end there, so I might have to end up muting, you know, the entire background as well. La 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 la. You know, I never actually, you know, took the time to look at the scenes here. And I gotta say, I was definitely not expecting a new song just like that. That came out of nowhere. Step, step. Step by step. Dream. That last word right there, which means the melody that links us, that would be Kizuna music, right? Alright, see you guys after this. Alrighty, plenty of fun stuff in this episode as well. I did like how at the very end there, while Roka was auditioning again, all the other members jumped in and started playing as well. When talent meets talent, musicians meet musicians, their hands start itching, right? They can't really just stand still and just watch like that. So I did like that sort of ideal, that sort of portrayal, and of course, it also ties in with the building of camaraderie as well between these newly acquainted band members. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about the riot that was, the song that was performed in this episode. It's definitely embellished. The way that Roka played it here is very different from the recording version. And So here I have to admit that I'm not as well versed in Race of Sweden as I am with Poppin' Party, right? So I'm not exactly a super fan of Race of Sweden. I haven't watched every single one of the performances and whatnot, but I have watched a few. And so I don't know if this sort of embellishment to Riot being done by Roka is maybe referencing one of their actual real lives, right? Because, and the reason why I got this idea, I'll explain in a little bit, because there are other things that are referencing their real lives as well, by Poppin' Party. So I'm wondering whether or not it's the same situation for Race of Sweden as well. Now, the last time I saw them perform live was actually, I believe, in May of last year. I mean, the last time I saw them perform Riot Live was in May of last year. And I don't think they diverged from the original recording that much. Definitely didn't. I definitely didn't hear the sort of embellishment that Roka was doing over here. So I do wonder if it's anime only, or if they actually did perform this in one of their later lives. So if there is someone out there who is more of a RAS fan, and who've watched maybe a little bit more of their performances, do let me know if that is the case, or if this is anime only, right? But at the very least, we can see that Roka is definitely much more assertive. She's unleashing her inner beast in a sense, right? Slaying it. And, well, of course, we don't, the buck doesn't stop here. We still have more drama, more stuff to go through. It's never that easy, right? After all, we still got an entire season to go through. So I'm not surprised at that. Perhaps they're going to rein her in a little bit. I don't quite know. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Now, putting that aside, let's talk about Popipa, right? And definitely the biggest surprise for me was this new song that dropped out of nowhere, right? Step by Step. And not only that, but the reference to Arisa and Saya actually changing their setup a little bit. So I actually didn't catch that at first because I'm so used to watching their real life versions perform already, and they've been using those sets for a long time now. So it never really occurred to me that, hey, the anime version of Poppin' Party have never used that before. So what I'm talking about is in Arisa's case, we can see her. She sold her Bonza tree and bought a Roland AX synth. And, her voice actress, Ayasa, has been using that for quite a while now, at least since 2017 and perhaps even earlier. My memory is a little bit fuzzy on that. It's just a little keyboard, and it has this, it's a synthesizer as well, and it has this, this interesting choke there that you can actually do tremolo on. But yeah, anyways, that's a reference there. And then of course we got Saya's standing drum set as well. That is also a reference to the real life voice actress Hashi and her drum set. And there's a little story there as well, because this is something that is really distinctly unique to Poppin' Party. Well, both those things are distinctly unique to Poppin' Party, but I feel like the drum set is even a little bit more unique in a sense, because that is fulfilling a specific niche, right? And the fact of, the entire reason for that is because Saya's voice actress, Hashi, she, even though she's the drummer of Poppin' Party, she's also a very good singer and performer and solo performer in her own right, and she's also, like, the center of one of the Idolmaster franchises, right? So she is very accustomed to, being in the front lines and doing crowd interactions and all that. And not to mention that she's always been saying in her interviews that she feels very lonely sitting there drumming at the, behind all the other band members, right? I mean, it's just the reality of the situation. That's what drummers do. They're always, more situated in the back. But Hashi has numerous times expressed that she feels kind of lonely in that way. She wants to be with the other band members. She wants to play around with the other band members. She wants to interact with the crowd. And so, since the beginning, they've had times where Hashi would actually leave her drum set and, take out a tambourine or something and, perform alongside the rest of the members. Maybe sing along or something, and then using a backing track at that time. Now, during the 6th live, I believe it was the 6th live, she unveiled this, custom-built standing set, again by Pearl as well. And it's custom made, and it's really allowing her to, like what we see in this episode, stand alongside the other band members as well, but still, it's sort of like a compromise, I guess you could say. So she's still drumming a little bit, she still has her cymbals and whatnot. Obviously, the biggest thing missing, it would be the bass drums, but it's a compromise, right? So she can fulfill her her want of interactions and whatnot while still doing her job as a drummer, right? So yeah, and honestly, the sort of, especially for in this episode where we see them performing in lockstep and whatnot, it does fit the image of Popipa very well, right? And I believe I recall an interview with Aimi, the voice actress of Kasumi, and or was it Rimi who said that? But basically, this was actually one of the first things that they were trained on. How to be in lockstep, sort of like a dance step with to the music while also performing at the same time. And one of my favorite performances that exemplify this would actually be when they perform Kira Kira Datoka Yume Datoka Sing Girls. The ending song of the first season. I do like their sort of unison in that they display during that song. Particularly the fifth live version. I really enjoyed that one. And I mean, it just fits the image of Poppin' Party very well, right? So, there's people arguing for this, pros and cons and whatnot, but, it's part of the unique aspect of Poppin' Party, and so, just accept it, I guess. So yeah, those were the more interesting references here to their real life counterparts, and that's also the reason why I'm hesitant to say that the embellishment Roka did on Riot was only anime specific, right? It could possibly be a reference to real life as well. I don't really know. But yeah, anyways, so we got, these sort of references, we got a new song, 2 thumbs up for that, and honestly, I mentioned this a little bit, but man, Roka is so lucky. Like, she's Popipa's biggest fan, and then she has a song completely dedicated to her. Like, she should be freaking out, right? Now, obviously, in this episode, she had some other priorities on her mind and whatnot, but I'm just saying, man, that is like the epitome of being a fan, right? Having a song dedicated to you. So yeah, that's what I want to say in regards to Roka, in regards to Poppin' Party. As for the rest, we do learn a little bit more about this sort of competition and what it actually entails, the rules and regulations of it. And I feel like it's also quite an interesting concept as well. Not only do the bands have to perform a lot, they need to find available venues and whatnot, and do as many performances as they can to gather votes, but actually the diehard fans, they need to try and attend every show as well, because what I think I'm getting here is that you get a vote for, attending an event, and then at the end of it, attending a live, and then at the end of it, you can, get, basically get a ticket for voting, right? And then you can cast your vote for your favorite bands and whatnot. And it's not explicitly stated, but I'm assuming that's how they do things. And if that is true, then that's actually a very idol-esque way of doing things. With the idol groups and whatnot, where the more you attend events, or the more you purchase their singles or whatnot, you get more voting power, and then you can really, the life and death of the idols, and in this case the life and death of the bands, are entirely determined by the fans. And so it creates this loop where the fans also want to do as much as they can for the band, and it drives up participation as well. So it's is it predatory? There's arguments for both sides, but I do like the sort of parallel here, again, with real life. Now, one prediction that I'm going to make, because I'm not quite sure if they mentioned in the past few episodes that there can only be 2 finalists performing at Budokan. If they did, sorry, I probably missed it or something. So, with only 2 finalists, considering the sort of setting that the anime and the game has gave to these bands, we can pretty much say that Razor and Roselia are lock-in, right? So, what about Poppin' Party? Now, there's 2 ways to resolve this. One way, I think they could maybe call upon Poppin' Party to be the opening act for these 2 finalists or something like that. Or, of course, I can also see a situation, though, that is a little bit more slightly lower, where all 3 bands qualify. And the reason for that is because then it would mirror the real world situation where all 3 of these bands are performing, and all 3 of them have played at Budokan before, right? So I could see it going either way, but considering the sort of status that the anime and the game has bestowed on these bands, by lore, by canon, Popipa Party aren't really at the same skill level as Razor or Roselia. So that's why, if we're going by this sort of setting, I could, if there's only 2 slots for performing there, then it has to be taken by Razor and Roselia, and especially considering that this season is sort of Razor true formation arc, if you will. I don't really see a way that they don't make it, right? But we'll see. There's tons of different ways that they could do this, but I think it's a fairly good guess to say that those 2 would absolutely be in the finals. And so yeah, that's basically it. Again, great surprise by this new song inclusion here. I was actually just thinking after the last episode that, hey, they're being a little bit lazy this season. They're reusing a lot of songs that they already used before, but I guess they immediately proved me wrong, right? So I am hoping for more, and hoping that the following episodes will have new songs as well, and perhaps even by all the different bands. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next week, where I do believe that we're going to have 2 episodes back to back again. So stay tuned, and bye-bye. Oh, sorry for that. One last thing. Remember to go on Spotify or your favorite, your preferred streaming service. Go listen to Initial. Go listen to Yumi Uchi, both by Popipa Party, and of course there's Sakura Memories and Anniversary as well. And I do believe that today is also the day where Roselia's Yakusoku single goes on sale. So do check that out as well. So yeah, there we go. I'll see you guys next week.